Thank you for taking your time to coming here. We appreciate that. My name is Moin Nodehi, and I'm the founder of Biotonomy. And I'm here today with my colleague Juan, Marie, Gabriela, and also Johnny. Um, Juan and Gabriela is working with marketing and sales, and Johnny is helping us with artificial intelligence. We will talk about today. So I thought I want to start with giving you a little bit the background of bioautonomy and where it comes from. My personal background, I started engineering, and when I was doing engineering, I couldn't understand why architecture was a different subject. So I started studying architecture in parallel because I learned from the ancient civilizations that there was no difference between architecture and engineering. It was one subject. And that resonated with me. Because I always wanted to be able to design things that work, that has a function. So I started working on some of the biggest construction projects in the world, in Dubai, because I thought that that's where innovation is happening. But little did I know, there was barely any innovation there. I got to learn about the downsides of the construction industry. I got to see how sewage is thrown out to the environment without any treatment. I got to see how workers were not treated well and not paid well. And I got to see so many things that didn't resonate with me. So I decided that I didn't want to contribute to that and that I wanted to use my knowledge to do something good for humanity in general. So I went out to the market and I was looking for solutions. And whatever I found, I didn't think it was ambitious enough. I saw some people working on energy efficiency, some other trying to work with water, but I didn't see anyone doing something holistically. So I decided that I'm going to take upon that task and develop a concept that addresses construction and architecture from a holistic point of view, right? So fast forward 15 years now, we are honored to be the Green Building Ambassador for one of the largest nature-based enterprise communities in the world, where we are helping other companies to start implementing nature-based solutions in architecture and construction. We have had the honor for one of our projects to be recognized by the United Nations as one of the top 20 innovative solutions for addressing the Sustainable Development Goals. We've this year actually had the honor to be awarded by the Spanish government for an innovative project that we've done in Malaga, which we will talk about today. We've had the honor to get European funding for doing research and innovation. And the city of Malaga also awarded our project as one of the best social innovation projects of 2023. So, what the core concept of bioautonomy is that we develop autonomous buildings. I'm just curious to know, how many people are familiar with the concept of autonomous buildings? 2 people, that's what I thought. 3. So, the way I envision the future was that our buildings will no longer have to depend on municipal infrastructure like power, water, and sewage to operate. Because today we have all the technology needed to create buildings that can operate independently from the municipal infrastructure. That's what autonomous buildings are. Autonomous buildings are able to produce their own utilities, meaning energy, water, and they can manage their own waste on site. What this allows is that we can develop basically buildings anywhere without having to first develop infrastructure. It's a huge shift. So this is what got me really excited. And I learned this by studying ancient civilizations. Because I asked myself, how does ancient civilizations build their civilizations without power water infrastructure? So I started studying that, and I found out some really interesting knowledge. So what autonomous building can do is that it can heat and cool itself 100% naturally without using any external energy. And it's all based on physics. And once you study it, it's very impressive how it works. For example, how do we cool buildings? We take, and this is our ancient technology that we have copied. We take the hot air from outside and we make it travel under the ground. When air travels under the ground, 3-4 meters under the ground, it gets cooled down naturally. And then we enter it into the building. So it enters the building cooled by just using physics. So we don't need to use any fans, we don't need to consume any fossil fuel to cool air. It's a very simple, basic law of physics. If you understand this as an architect, you can implement this in your design. And we can do the same thing with heating. We've built these buildings in cold climates like Germany, where we have buildings, and in Austria as well, where it gets cold. And what we do is we harvest the sun during summer, we store it inside the building, and then we reuse it during winter. And this is also based on the laws of physics. You can store temperatures naturally if you understand physics. So what that does is that allows us to reduce the heating and cooling consumption of the buildings with up to 100%. Go ahead.
How do you store the heating from summer to winter?
Great question. It's called seasonal thermal mass. So thermal mass is a material's capacity to store temperature, right? So when we design the buildings, behind the walls or under the building, we integrate thermal mass. And if you look at this picture here, maybe it's hard to see from where you are, you see stone walls. In between those stone walls, we have compacted earth that when the sun radiates on that wall, the earth absorbs the sun, the heat of the sun, and stores it. And then when it gets cold, it radiates back into the house. So you can store it in walls, in the ground, in the roof. Basically, any structural components can turn into temperature storage.
May I ask another?
Yeah.
So how much of the heating can that actually contribute?
100%. Yes. If you follow the laws of nature, you can achieve 100%.
Also in Sweden?
Yes. Yes. So that's heating and cooling. If you achieve that, you already done a big environmental impact and financial impact for yourself. We also produce water. So we design the buildings, the roof and the landscape of these buildings are designed to harvest water. We store the water under the ground. We have our own filtration systems, and we filter the water all the way to clean drinkable water. So the buildings are actually producing their own water. There's no need to go and buy water from outside. And it's much more cleaner than getting water coming 1,000 kilometers away from treatment plants. Then we reuse the wastewater. So most people don't know this, but 80% of the wastewater produced in the world is not treated. It goes straight out to the environment. So we use biology to treat wastewater. We have a system where we use plants that consumes the wastewater. And when you sum all of that, what you get is that you reduce your operational costs with up to 95%. So not only are you doing a great effort for the environment, but you're also making yourself pay less for keeping your building comfortable. Which brings us to well-being. You pay less for your building, and you're way more secure. Whatever happens in the world, you know your building is always going to be comfortable, you're always going to have water, and you're always going to be able to use your toilets and showers without any problem. So it's an investment for your future and for your family. And you get much more connected with nature, which is a really good thing for your well-being. We all know that. You can drink the water that we harvest from the rain. Yes. And we've actually done. No. That's your plants are going to drink that. So, after doing this for almost 12, 15 years around the world, in many different countries, we decided that we want to scale this up. We want to bring this to cities and to urban environments. So 3 years ago, I came to Malaga, 4 years ago. I came to Malaga, and that's pretty much when COVID hit, and we have to rethink the whole business model of the company. So I met Juan, and we started to talk about the idea of developing in the city of Malaga a vertical ecosystem that would reuse the wastewater from a hotel. I spoke to Juan, and he knew some hotels. Juan has worked many years in the hotel industry here, and we applied for European funding to make this project. So this building right here is in Soho, Malaga. It's funded by the European Union, and we are taking the wastewater of 2 hotel rooms to irrigate 100 square meters of vertical ecosystem. And we are also including a big part of technology into that. There's where we're working with Johnny now to integrate artificial intelligence to help us to improve the measurements and the efficientness of this project. And Juan wants to now explain a little bit on the other projects we're working on here in Malaga.
Hello to everyone, thank you for coming, thank you all. As I say, I'm Juan, I'm leading a bit the Department of Sales and Collaboration Alliance in Biotonomy. As he said, we are developing this for scaling these solutions. We know that work, we make it in every climate, cold, hot, and every part of the world, and now it's time to bring it to the cities. We are starting with the Vertical Ecosystem project in Soho that has a lot of attention, and now with the draft that we are facing, the most interesting project for the city now to implement is the water recycle. The same solution that we have in the houses, we can scale it up to a small scale, medium scale, big scale, and giant scale. This is an example of Manzana Verde in Malaga. It's a new development of social housing they're going to do. They want to change a bit the paradigm of how they are building social house not social housing, house for the Malagueño people. It's going to be all around greenery. The fun story of this, when they developed the project, was in 2017, and this project itself is called Ciudad Jardín Vertical. It has green everywhere. They put green everywhere. With the pandemic and everything got stopped, and then last year they start over. And now in 2017 was not sequía, so now there is a draft. So they say, we went there and say, okay, how are you planning to irrigate all your green areas, and how are you going to do with your wastewater? You say, what wastewater? They have no idea that you can use your wastewater in a simple way to treat all the gardens. And we make a quick estimation, and we figure out that all the wastewater they have is the same amount that they will need for green areas. So we say we can maybe connect point A with point B. They really like the idea, and this is going to be a pioneer project in Spain. It's going to be the first building that will reuse 100% of the wastewater. We're going to save every year 5 million liters of water that normally will go to the sewage. Now we use it or integrated in the irrigation system. So we're going to do the green area, and all that water keeps in the community, and we're going to reduce on 30% the consumption of water because we are going to use it for the toilets. So this it will be a game changer now, because for example, urbanizations, hotel, we are really focusing the hotel industry now that they cannot irrigate green areas with the normativa, with the regulations there is now. With this, we can do it, and also we save money, we improve our the value of our buildings, so it's a no-brainer. And now we are really happy after 3 years here, pushing and pushing and pushing, that we are getting in contact with the right people, that they finally start to understand that this is possible, this is feasible, we can do it. It's not, we need a big restructuration of the city, of all the buildings, not big obras. This, we can do it really, really easy, and we are doing it. So I think that, or something else. So I thank you very much for coming. Have a question? The plants? Sorry? Give them work. So here we have we like to call it vertical ecosystem instead of vertical garden, because it's a hydroponic vertical ecosystem. So we use not any soil. We put the plants, like imagine we put a towel in a structure in the wall, and it's that towel that holds the roots, and all the roots grows there, like in nature. So they don't have like tiny buckets, it's one whole ecosystem. So all the plants, they hold each other like friends, and we give them all the food for the water. So we have a system that put food in the water so the plants get feed, and we don't have any super light, so we can put it in anywhere. Any question?
Is it cost effective for a community of farmers, for instance, take a community and organization in various cities, with gardens and trees and everything else? It would be cost effective to make the change.
100%. It depends on the green areas you have. Normally 3 to 4 years you have it paid off, and from there it's money, because you have like, most people doesn't know how much our gardens consume. The ones that pay the bill probably does, but consumes a lot of water. So a normal garden, you have a high bill of water, and now the prices with the draft they're going to go up. But yeah, normally in 3-4 years you have the return of investment.
And what is the initial investment? Which would give me an idea.
For
Based on the size.
yeah, like a private house, like a hotel, or like a city.
Say a community with a garden of 2,000 square meters or something.
Okay.
That's pretty much the project we look at in Manzana Verde. That's about 38 apartments. That's an investment of 80,000 euros.
80.
80.
80.
That's a
1-8.
80.
80. Yeah. And in 4 years they have it with
Yeah, and that irrigates 2,000 square meters of green areas. But if you don't have green areas, you can reuse it for flushing your toilet, which you reduce your water consumption by 30%. That's also water saving.
Where is this project in Malaga? In which part of Malaga? Soho.
No, the other one is in Barriada del Duende. It's one barriada next to the Palacio de Ferias, where the Congress Palace is. It's in that area. They're going to renature all that place.
Perhaps to say, in what countries are you present now, your company?
Now we've developed projects all around the world. When before we start was not, we were like going around. Now we have the main core here in Malaga. We have a base in Sweden, and now we are developing in Puerto Rico, or operating with the tourist industry there. Yeah, everybody wants to go to Puerto Rico. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. After we can answer more questions.